Going on YouTube? I know it's been a while. Welcome back to my channel. It's Kyle Bray here, and I just want to walk you guys through my trade on EURJPY. The team and I just traded it right now, and I just want to walk you through my thought process and the reasons why we took our trade. Let me go over here and open up the currency strength meter because this is one of the biggest indicators as to why I took EJ over other pairs. Although UJ still launched and some other pairs. Oh, the euro lost some strength, so it's not as good for the video right now, but that's okay. So, because the euro is at full strength. So, of course, we know that Nikkei market opens at 5, right? So, 5 o'clock my time is 1700 hours right here. That's 5 p.m. And when the Nikkei market opens, there's always volatility in Japanese pairs. Obviously, it's a market that's set in Japan. So anytime a market opens for that currency, whatever pair has that currency in it, you're going to have a push. So I didn't trade at that time, but what I did trade was when I hopped on the chart, I noticed that price had broken all structures. So, of course, we had a little bit of a pre-push bearish, right? Had a little bit of a pre-push bearish. Then we hit this demand zone here. Right, you just look left a little bit. We hit the demand zone here. And what happened is as soon as the market opened, it just completely reversed off of demand, and then it launched. And so what's good to pay attention to is what did we break? Well, we broke here, right? This is a zone that price just recently broke. So when we know that price is breaking these zones, the price is typically going to want to go retest those structures. So as soon as I noticed that price had broken the structure, as soon as this 15-minute candle had made that pullback, I was looking at the currency strength meter, and at the time of the currency strength meter, the euro had full strength, completely full strength, and the Japanese yen had zero, had nothing. It still has nothing. And so what does that mean? Well, if we know that the market just opened, we know there's volatility in the market, so this is when I'm looking for maybe to have an entry. I'm looking to trade and get into the market because all the signs are adding up. So, of course, the next thing is understanding, well, where is that 4-hour momentum? Because when we pay attention to the 4-hour time frame and we notice, well, where is that next zone? Well, that next zone is here in this whole range because this is based off the wick ranges looking left. So at the time of my entries, off of the first higher low, there was already 10 pips in that first 15-minute candle. But that next zone was going up here into this range. This is where the whole next destination is. And so as my viewers know and as my students know, I like to go for 10 pips and get out of the market. So I was already at 10 pips, but the whole idea is as I entered for the pre-push into the 4-hour candle, I wanted to wait till price still reacted to those next zones because I believe that price can still even push even further potentially. But I was in and out. I've already closed down. I only have one position open at one entry here with my stop loss in profit. If it hits it, it doesn't matter. It will close at like 8 pips. Right now, it's still floating at 10 pips. I'm looking at my MetaTrader 4 as we speak. And if you watched my Instagram, you would have seen on my Instagram, I called out the trade before it happened. And it was all primarily based off currency strength meter because the currency strength meter at that time was completely strong on the euro and the Japanese yen had nothing. So it's like a cheat sheet. So you can kind of just get an idea of where the strength is and where the strength is weak. So that's exactly it. So what did we notice? We noticed a price hit demand zone here, right? And then what did it do? It created the lower low. Now we got a lower low, right? The lowest low in demand. And then so price now broke structures and now created a new higher high. Now we've got a new higher high. And so what happened is we have the first higher low moving in that momentum after we broke structure because now we can see that price had volatility. We can see that price had a currency that had just opened up in a market where it's now allowing for liquidity to get pumped into the market. So, of course, this is where the scalp comes in, right? Because that next zone is just here. I closed at 20 positions on 4 positions. I closed at 20 pips each. And I left just one running. And I do believe that we'll probably hit the stop loss in profit. Not a big deal. You know, it is what it is. We take what the market can give us. I just was hoping that we might have a potential swing to go even further based on the potential of that daily, maybe up into this whole range here. So it just is what it is. You take what the market can give you, but this is exactly where the structure was and exactly what we talked about in the Wickfield Wizards Asian session chat. And this is why my team traded it, because we broke structure now. Now we have a higher high, new higher low. Now we made a 2-1 confirm. We do know that the market just opened for Nikkei, so we know there's volatility for Japanese session pairs. The currency meter was weak on the Japanese yen, but it was strong on the euro. So we just kind of put the pieces together, and this is momentum. This is momentum. And then when you see the new 4-hour, that new 4-hour time frame, you can see the new 4-hour time frame. It broke structure, right? We broke this structure here, and now we are in between these zones, because you can see here, from here to here, we still had not hit it. Although this is not like an insane amount of pips, you can still see even just this next zone is around 7. And what did it do? It actually went up another 11 pips just from that other higher low that price had made. And we hit my stop loss. So now I'm completely out of the market, which is completely fine. But this is where the scalp comes in, because now we have the new higher low for a 2-1 confirm. And then that's already our profit target in the first 15 minute. But I held a little bit longer, and I stacked more positions on the next higher low. So not only were we riding at 10 pips here, now we have a new higher low, which I entered more. And then those ones caught around 10 pips each. I closed at 10 pips on most of them. It was only 2 extra entries. So I believe it was 3 entries at 20, 1 entry at 10, and then now this other entry closed at, I'm not 100 entirely sure, but my stop loss was like here. So it was spread, so around 5-6 pips. So it's a total of 20, 40, 60, just under 100 pips total in this scalp. Take what the market gives you. But this was my thought process entirely, and the reason why I took this trade on EURJPY. So this is my exact setup I'm looking for every single week. Not necessarily waiting for the pre-push. There's so many different ways of trading, and especially when you're trading around Nikkei market, because Nikkei market has all kinds of ways to trade. There's a pre-push that happens an hour before. So as you can see, look at what the pre-push did. We made lower lows and lower highs, and we dropped 10 pips. So that could have been your trade where you're looking for the pre-push, but then you also have the push. Here's the push, and then the next one you have is the 4-hour momentum. And as you can see on that 4-hour momentum, we had launched, even in that 4-hour momentum, 15 pips in one 15-minute candle. So you just got to learn and figure out in your trading plan what kind of trader you are and how you want to trade it. I definitely believe that EURJPY can continue into momentum and push a little bit harder. But as soon as price reacts to those next zones, anything goes. So as soon as price hit the zone, that's why I said on Instagram I'm getting ready to close. So I ended up closing down those 4 positions and leaving the one running with stop loss in profit. And then I walked away, and that was how I took my trade. But it's very simply put. All of my YouTube videos are going to have the very similar to the exact same style of setup, the exact same thing that I'm looking for. And I'm looking to trade around those high probability times. So if you don't know what times price makes those pushes, you need to really pay attention to the high probability times. You need to be able to use the currency strength meter and allow that to be an indicator to help you understand where momentum will continue to push. Because I think even on UJ, some of my students call it USD-JPY. And USD-JPY had that push. You can even see on that 5-minute, right? So this is going to be right for Nikkei market, right at 1700, right when the market opens, buying demand, buy support. We made actually a 2-1 confirm on this support zone. And then what did price do? Look, we launched that 15 pip, 20 or just under 15 pips, 13. Now we made a new higher low, and then it pulled up again. And look, we launched 16 pips. Now we made another new higher low. And then what do? We launched even more to a total of 20 pips. And now it appears to be that price is making a rally, a base, and a potential rally. Let's see what that 4-hour ended up closing like. Pretty strong, and it closed above this whole zone. So that's definitely something to take in consideration, is the fact that if you look at this zone here, price clearly broke above. I can really anticipate USD-JPY going into a really high push, maybe into this whole wick range here to the left in these next several hours. And that's just based off price action. That's based off the point that price broke structure. Now we're making a potential rally, a potential base, and a potential another rally. That's a form of market structure, and I believe that that's potentially where USD-JPY is going to go. And you can see USD. So USD-JPY did close on this minor zone here. Always something to take into consideration. But we can just be making some liquidity here before a potential more launch. But based off currency meter at the time, the euro was strong and the Japanese yen was weak. The euro had extreme full strength and the Japanese yen had nothing. So that's why I took EJ over all the other pairs. And I was able to get in and get out. And you can see that the work day was, I got in at 1730, which is 5:30. Closed it at around here or around here. So around an hour. It's an hour work day. I'll take it. I didn't trade it all today. This was the first trade of the day. And I was in and out within an hour, following market structure, following 4-hour momentum. So hopefully you guys are able to take a little bit of nuggets out of this. Of course, if you don't already follow me on some of my my social media pages, I have changed my name on Instagram due to branding because of my Wickfield Wizards mentorship group. So my Instagram name is the Wickfield Wizard. My actual Instagram page for my group is called the Wickfield Wizards. You can follow me if you guys want on there. My social media for Facebook is just my name, Kyle Bray. And then, of course, you can email me if you guys want at wickfieldwizards@gmail.com. We're changing some things up, getting more professional in how we approach the common public via Instagram, YouTube, whatever other social media platforms that we're using. So if you guys want to follow me on here, you can. You can see our progress. You can see what we do, how we do it. But most importantly, YouTube has more visual. So it's more for those visual learners who want to learn a little bit extra and for free because I post this information for free. So hopefully you guys are able to take away some nuggets and I'll see you on the next one.